Everyone, and I warmly welcome you all to our today's launch event for the Youth Africa Chapter. Thank you so much for being with us and supporting us as Youth embarks on this new journey and we expand and deepen our presence to Africa. So I am Pallavi Jain, and alongside with Sara Parvez, we are going to be your co-facilitators for the day. I am working as a program lead in the digital health team at PATH and also leading the Youth Secretariat. Sara, over to you.
Thank you, Pallavi. Hello, everyone. It's so incredible to see all of you here. My name is Sarah, and I'm a program associate at the digital health team at PATH India. I work predominantly in research, strategy building, and program management, and I've worked across teams in public health, including maternal and child health, antimicrobial resistance, climate change and health, and digital health. So that was a little about us. Before we proceed on to the event, we have a small tradition here at Youth called as Chat Waterfall. So now I'm going to request everyone to kindly go to the chat and write in your names, your organizations, your designations, and where you're joining us today from. But don't hit enter yet. I'm going to give everyone a cue so that we all press enter simultaneously so that our responses cascade together. So let's all just go to our chat and take 30 seconds to write these things down. All right, let's take 5 more seconds. On the count of 3, 2, 1, let's all hit enter. Great. So incredible to see so many of you. Hello, Todd. Hello, Kahinde, Pavan, Dr. May, Ram Gopal, Dr. Saima, Michael, Isaac, Pallavi, Nikesa, Saraj, Erica, Abhishek. Amazing to have all of you here on this event today. Really looking forward to, officially launching the chapter and the exciting opportunities that await us. Over to you, Pallavi.
Great. So while many of you are patrons of Youth, some of us are still very new and trying to familiarize ourselves with what really this community is about, what's our ethos about. So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to tell you guys about the Youth community that we've built over the last 2 years, and our way forward as we progress into expanding into Africa as well. So, YO.DH stands for Youth Ownership of Digital Health, and we're a global volunteer-led community of young digital health professionals under the age of 35 who aspire to be the next generation of leaders in the space. We started the community in July of 2023, so we are close to completing 2 years with the launch of the community, and indeed, it's a milestone for us today as we start with our first continent and a country chapter. Great. So digital health is something which is on the rise, which is booming, not just in the global south, but also across the world. Especially after COVID, there were three things which, sort of came about very pertinently. One was, again, the challenges, within our healthcare systems across the world. The second thing was the need for a digital first approach in all the country, in the health systems of all the countries. And the third being the role which the youth can play or was playing as a catalyst to adopting any kind of digitization in the healthcare. Keeping this in mind, we realize that technology is something which comes very innately to the young people. And the need of the hour is to present them with more representation opportunities and also create a community through which they can get this platform. At the same time, also get the opportunity to connect, create, and collaborate with other people who are like-minded and similar and of similar ages. So, with this in mind, our vision is to empower young digital health professionals with the right tools, knowledge, and networks so that we can help them provide with increased representation opportunities, knowledge, and networks that can help them and enable them to become more well informed, responsible, and network leaders. With this in mind, our pillars are essentially of community engagement, capacity building, and networking. We have built this community of practice where our members are joined by their shared passion for digital health and public health at large. And with this, we ensure that, with every offering that we have, with every discussion that we have, we can mobilize our community, break silos, bring people together, help build their capacities, not just their technical capacities, but also their leadership and soft skills, and help them network with people across the world. Currently, we are 1,000 members across 44 countries and 120 cities. And very proudly, I can say that 52% of our members identify as women. We have 7 different initiatives, and our initiatives have been 2 years in the making. The reason why they have been 2 years in the making is that we are constantly iterating our initiatives. We take constant feedback from our members to understand that, what is their present need, what are their present interests, what are some of the trending topics that they're interested in, and what are the ways in which we can actually help them build their capacities, help them network with people, get them to bond with the community and truly engage with the members. One of our star initiatives is Youth Dialogue, which is our podcast series. So we have 14 podcasts which we've recorded with giants from the digital health and public health sector. They are available for viewing for everyone on our YouTube channel. Then we have Youth Charcha, which is our webinar series. We conduct one webinar every month. And again, the idea is to give exposure to not only experts from within the field, but also highlight our members within the community who are doing exceptional work and indeed have a lot of experiences and insights to share. We have Youth Discovery, which is our series of exposure visits. Our endeavor is to try and give our members exposure to as many centers of innovation and excellence around healthcare so they can actually meet with the people who have either created those innovations or are working on those innovations to actually give them an on-ground experience. Then we have Youth Fest, which is our in-person leadership events. We conduct our own events. At the same time, we have also started partnering with other events to give our members more exposure. At the same time, also opportunities to represent at large-scale forums. We have Youth Adda, which is our open mic session. We try and get people from our community across the world every month, every second Saturday, so that they can interact and talk about topics of importance and relevance to them. Just to give an example, a couple of weeks back, we had a discussion on electronic health records. And within that conversation, we had members from India, Nepal, Nigeria, and Kenya. And in that 1 hour of conversation, we could actually share experiences from 4 different countries, learn about challenges, and also, scope for a couple of ideas that, we could perhaps think of and implement within our countries to, tweak our own systems. Then we have Youth Connect, which is a mentorship program in the making. We have the structure ready. We've conducted a robust needs assessment as well, and we hope to roll that out very soon. One of our star initiatives is our Youth Ambassador Program, and we have already successfully run 3 cohorts, from which 40 ambassadors have already graduated. And today we will also be launching our 4th international cohort. Our ambassador program focuses on, bringing community members who actually help us run these initiatives We try and understand that, what are their capacities that we can help develop. And with that in mind, we have a buddy system through which our ambassadors are able to peer learn and actually, imbibe some tangible skills. Through the 2 years, we've had a bunch of collaborators and partners, while some have been supporting us to strategically envision the growth of youth. There are many who have supported us through different events, capacity building initiatives that we've undertaken. So where we are headed, that's a very good question. Again, I feel youth as a community is limitless. We can take it to any direction and to any horizons that we want. A couple that we have identified as we are taking baby steps towards growing the community sustainably is one is to see how can we build youth as a global go-to forum for everything digital health, whether it comes to the in-house knowledge products that we build, whether it comes to networking with professionals in digital health across the world, to recruitment, sharing resources, so on and so forth. Our next vision is that, how can we get a consortium of institutions which can actually come in and lend their expertise in backing youth, whether it is to support our capacity building initiatives, our leadership initiatives, or our mentorship initiatives. The third one is self-sustainability and governance. So youth currently is run by its community members. We have a team of core committee members who have been supporting us right since our inception 2 years ago. While this community is largely self-run, our aim is to make this community eventually more independent so it can take its decisions by itself, and all its operations are also governed by its members. Lastly, our aim is to now focus on localization of the community. And with starting the YO.DH Africa chapter, that's one of the first steps that we've taken towards it. The whole idea is that how can we create more micro communities, whether it is through country-wise chapters, state-wise chapters, and even student chapters, since we've been receiving a lot of interest from academic institutions and students. How can we actually start with these regional chapters so we can have more hyperlocal conversations, meetups, and we can create products which are more resonant with different communities. Sarah, over to you.
Thank you so much, Pallavi, for that introduction. So we're very proud that we have over 120 members currently from Africa within youth, and they come from over 18 countries across the African continent, as you can see here. I'd like to share that just in November of last year, this 120 was actually just 20. And, we've grown close to 100 members just in the last few months, thanks to the concerted effort and the community, which has shown in a lot of interest. Coming down to why Youth Africa, well, the wheels have really started rolling months ago. There were a lot of factors which have played in and prompted us to initiate, the Youth Africa chapter. The first and foremost one being interest from the community. We had started receiving a lot of personal messages from our youth members within Africa to start an Africa chapter because they felt that this is a community which could serve a lot of benefit. At the same time, we know that Africa has been taking center stage in the digital health domain. We've had so many conferences and events that have been taking place across Africa, as well as a lot of the African nations have put in a lot of investments and strategy towards developing their national digital health plans. And as when it comes to the youth, the African youth, they're tech savvy, they have a lot of interest in digital. And with this burgeoning digital health ecosystem, what we saw was this dual opportunity. First, of course, it was how can the youth leverage digital to really transform the health systems and address health challenges, as well as really tap into the economic prospects of this burgeoning of this system. how can we connect them to employment opportunities? How can we skill them further to, really climb the digital ladder when it came to their career prospects? And as well as how can we connect youth globally who are interested in digital health? How can we facilitate cross learning? So, somebody in Kenya, how can they learn and work with somebody here in Bombay, here in India? So these were some of those inspirations for us to really kickstart the Africa chapter. And as we started moving things, the first and foremost thing that we did was go back to a community. Youth is a community first. That's how we work. We have the community really design and let us know what is it that they want. We have ideas at our own end, but we really wanted the community to tell us that how could youth benefit them. So we had a bunch of conversations with them. We had some introductory calls. We reached out to some of them personally to really tell us that what was it that they wanted out of Youth Africa, what are the activities, what are the offerings, what are some of the ways that Youth Africa could benefit them, and how could it take shape. So this is the process that we followed. We ran a needs assessment form with them to help us give insights as to what are the themes in which they're interested in, what are some of the activities which could, become part of Youth Africa, and how could youth really benefit them and help them give access to global opportunities as well. Um, and as part of this process, we realized that it is very important for members of the community to be the face of these efforts and really lead these efforts. And we're very fortunate enough to, have a group of a dedicated team in Africa to support us with this mission. And as you can see, these are some of the responses which we received from the needs assessment. Some areas which emerged, including telemedicine, data analytics, electronic medical records, communication and digital health equity. How could you support them? Included, connecting them with mentors, having discussions around digital health, being involved in capacity building programs and leadership programs, and also being participating in a lot of collaboration opportunities with young people across the world as well. We also have a quick link in case you would like to also become a part of this iterative process. You can share your responses on the link that I've just shared. Uh, as I was mentioning, we have a dedicated team in Africa, the Youth Africa co-committee members who are supporting us. And I just have to say that none of this would have been possible without them. They have been incredibly supportive. They have been the ones who have been really taking all the steps in the establishment of the community. In one of our regular calls that we keep having with them, they expressed a lot of interest in the idea of starting a global ambassador program, and from that idea, we thought that that would be something incredible for the community to, for two different communities to come together and work out the legs of the Youth Africa chapter, for which we now have the first ever global cohort of the India Africa Ambassador Program. As you can see on your screens, these are the set of incredible youth champions who are a part of these of the cohort, who will be helping us operationalize Youth Africa, develop its activities, develop its charter, and really kickstart things for us. So just incredible to see what started off as an idea to now it becoming officially launched. It was made possible only and only thanks to the interest of the community. I now welcome some of our community members to speak a little about their experience within youth, as well as what are some of their expectations with the upcoming Youth Africa chapter. So now I'm going to hand over the mic to Saloni. Saloni is the founder and CEO of Genwell Health, and she has been one of our original core committee members ever since Youth started 2 years back. Over to you, Saloni.
Thanks so much, Sarah, for that generous introduction. Hello and a very good evening to everyone. I am Saloni Sethi, founder and CEO of Genwell Health. We're a family planning based startup in the corporate wellness space here in India. And I've been a member of Youth ever since its inception 2 years ago. And I've served as a core committee member over the last year. And what a wonderful journey it has been. Youth is a rather unique community. In fact, if I may take the liberty to say so, the most vibrant community of leaders within the healthcare space that I've had the opportunity to be a part of. As a young entrepreneur in the digital health space, it has empowered me to meet like minded people, collaborate, and position myself better within the industry, which honestly seems very dominated by people who are significantly older. As a core committee member, I've worked very closely with our lovely Pallavi and Sarah and from the Youth Secretariat, who are constantly pushing the boundaries of what digital health professionals can do as a collective. And alongside the support of my very lovely team, we have been organizing a bunch of innovative in-person and online programs. And most importantly, what we have very fortunately been able to curate is a very safe space for knowledge and experience to cultivate within the members. Together, we have rallied together youth in digital health from all over India. And I'm proud to say that the news has now reached far and wide. And it just gives me immense pleasure to be witnessing the launch of this India Africa chapter today. Together, I'm looking forward to getting to know my fellow core committee members from Africa and India and just continue to work on spreading the word on making more and other digital health professionals in this very niche space, quite frankly, also chime in and join the youth too. So yeah, a big congratulations to everyone who's been a part of this and looking forward to where we're headed.
Thank you so much, Seleni, for your really kind and uplifting words. We now have Saurabh, who is a program associate at PATH in the digital health team. Over to you, Saurabh.
Yeah, hi, Sarah, thanks. Greetings, everyone. Firstly, I would like to extend my congratulations to Youth Secretariat team, Pallavi and Sarah, for this wonderful expansion. I'm Saurav Ingole and I am a Yodha and I'm a part of the Youth Score Committee. Currently, I work at PATH in the digital health vertical for ABDM adoptions across India. I personally feel very happy to see our community expanding globally with the launch of this Africa chapter. I've been part of Yodh since day one and the first event that ever happened in Delhi. And to me, Yodh has been a space of growth, exchange, and belonging. I started as a public health professional with no tech background, and I had to scrape through various sources and learn the technical part, the tech part of it, and the things related to it. But I would say that the members of the youth community are very fortunate to have young industry peers who can help them bridge this particular gap, like connecting with industry peers and mentors working across diverse digital health projects in India and now globally. It's a unique space where those from non-tech community backgrounds or where folks from non-tech backgrounds can better understand technology, and the technology background folks can gain insights into the healthcare system, public health nuances, and ground realities to work for a better system. As a core committee member, I've seen the value of this community in action, how it empowers young professionals to learn, collaborate, and also lead. Whether it was through the initiatives like Ambassador Program or the webinars and the podcasts that has brought industry experts and emerging voices together. Yodh has consistently created a room for meaningful engagement and has given platform to young professionals like all of us. This Africa chapter, I believe, will bring fresh perspective, vibrant experiences, and new energy to youth. I'm excited to see the cross learning and collaboration that will emerge between India and Africa. To the African Core Committee member, I wish you all the very best and may this chapter grow into a strong, inclusive, and impact driven community in Africa as it has grown in India. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saurabh. Saurabh has already shared a bunch of really cool ideas for us with the Youth Africa chapter. So we're really looking forward to that. We now have Kehinde Morena from the Clinton Health Access Initiative. Kehinde is part of our co-committee group in Africa. So over to you, Kehinde.
All right, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone, and also good evening for folks in the evening region. My name is Kendi Morain, and I'm based in Nigeria, and it gives me one pleasure and happiness to witness the launch of this Afro region chapter, which has been a long time coming. I think I must congratulate everyone, most especially the effort of the past team, but more importantly, colleagues from the Afro region who have been really instrumental towards developing the structure and modalities of the chapter. For me, the big vision and expectation I do have for the chapter is that it serves as the right platform for networking, that's one, but more importantly, mentorship, support, and just showcasing Africa's brightest young minds who have deep rooted interest in digital health as a way to improve health outcomes and indices on the African continent over the next decade. I know Africa indeed has, the right expertise, the experience required to solve our problems. And this platform, the YO.DH, will serve as this integral role in actualizing this big vision and dream for us. I think in conclusion, I look forward to a very impactful next couple of months as we leverage opportunity to host webinars, for instances, workshops, health meetups, but more importantly, again, showcases that allows us to spotlight very interesting young youth-led digital health initiatives in Africa. So really big thank you and congratulations to everyone who has supported this journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kehinde. And we really hope that we're able to deliver to your expectations. Now, finally, we have Washington Maboya, who is the founder of Healthcare Hub. Now over to you, Washington.
Hello, everyone. I am Washington Boya. Am I audible enough?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Washington Boya. I'm the founder and CEO of Healthcare Hub. And ideally, what we do is we build AI specialized chatbots. So my interaction with YO.DH has been immense. I can say it has been incredible. Dealing with the team from India, dealing with the team from Africa, and I know for sure it's going to be an amazing journey. And one thing that I have learned, this space has really connected me. I can say I had an issue developing a chatbot, and I reached out to Ayub, who's a fellow co-committee member, and I can say I got help. So through this, I would not have gotten help if I was not maybe associated with this particular amazing organization, or I can say this organization for that matter. So what I do expect is for it to grow into a bigger and wider organization rather, and I know through that we're going to achieve universal health coverage using technology. So I am interested in technology, and as a clinician too, I can say that this is the future, and we are in the right trajectory, and it's going to be an amazing an amazing venture. So to each and everyone who has joined us maybe and would like to be a member, I would encourage you, and I would tell you that you are in the right space, you are in the right area, and you are in the right career for that matter. So with that, I'd want to thank the team from India, Sarah, Pallavi. You guys have been amazing. You have been instrumental in ensuring this particular ceremony has come to pass. If it were not for you, I know we would not be here, even as a team from Africa. So I'd want to express my sincere appreciation to you, because you've held on to us. And if it were not for you and the whole Secretariat, then we would not be having this amazing celebration today. So I'm very happy, and I'm so honored to meet each and every one of you here. And I'm looking forward for an amazing time full of learning, full of collaborations, full of networking, and more of similar spaces. So I want to thank you so much, and wish you a lovely evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to our co-committee members from India and Africa for those lovely and encouraging words. And we really hope we are able to step up to your expectations and, build this into a community of support, which can help you grow in your careers. Before we move on to our next segment, where we have four experts from the public health and digital healthcare sector waiting to address us and share their words of wisdom with us, we thought it might be a good idea, since we have so many of us from across the world, we could perhaps get into a 5-minute networking circle. So I'm now going to put you guys into breakout rooms. You will be about 2 to 3 participants, and we'll just take about 5 minutes. So I request all of you that when you put into your breakout room, please accept the invite and unmute yourself. You could just tell each other where you are from, where do you work, what excites you the most about the work that you're doing in the healthcare sector, and what expectations that you have of youth. So you will just be receiving an invite from me, and yes, here you go.
So Pallavi, I was introducing myself to Shiv.
Well, as the minute I posted 2 minutes to go, I actually got a few messages saying that we need some more time. But guys, I hope that this was just the beginning of, many such conversations, and this is just the beginning. And we hope that in the next some time to come, you actually get to know, your peers much more closely. But apologies, in interest of time, I had to cut this short, so that we can move to our very interesting next segment. And yeah, I hope you guys can see my screen. Yes. So now in our next segment, we actually have, sorry, just give me a moment. Yep. So we actually have lightning talks by four very, very eminent experts from within the field, who agreed to support us in today's launch, and are giants in the work that they're doing in Africa and other geographies. So we first have with us Caroline Mbindio. Caroline is the Chief Innovation Officer at Amreef Health Africa. She is a futures research operating at the intersection of digital transformation, global health, and international development. Caroline is currently investigating how AI could shape health across Africa. Caroline, thank you so much for joining us today, and it's a pleasure to have you. We also have with us Trad Hatton. Trad is the director of the Central Africa Hub and DRC Country Program at PATH. He has over 20 years of experience supporting health initiatives and building public health capacity in DRC. Trad, thank you so much and welcome. We are also joined by Dr. Ernest. Ernest is the Director of Digital Health at PATH in DRC, where he leads the digitalization projects in the public health sector. He has more than 10 years of experience in the management of health services, as well as the development, implementation, and evaluation of projects. Dr. Ernest, thank you so much for joining us today. And lastly, we have Erica Lair. Erica Lair is the Chief Operating Officer of Health Enabled, where she leads strategy and operations to advance equitable, inclusive digital health systems. With nearly 2 decades of experience in global health, Erica works to ensure that technology enables health and well-being for all, especially for those historically left behind. Well, no amount of introduction that we give does justice to the incredible work that these guys have done. So we will be posting their longer bios in the chat along with their LinkedIn profiles. So please feel free to have a look at that and also connect with them on LinkedIn. I would now like to request Caroline to first come in and share your thoughts with us. Caroline, over to you.
Thank you, Pallavi, and hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. When we were in the breakout rooms, I was saying to Erica that it is so warm here and the sun is shining directly on my face. But now that we are in this session, can you believe it is raining heavily in just the space of like 2 minutes? So I hope that my internet will hold. So I want to begin with a quote that I love. And this quote is, both optimists and pessimists contribute to society. The optimist invents the aeroplane and the pessimist the parachute. And why I say this is because when we think of Africa, I identify as an Afro-optimist, and I'm very bullish about Africa. But when most people talk and think and speak of Africa, it's always with, the bad news that Africa, when we see the headlines, we talk about, Africa has a high disease burden, that even in the tech space, we hear people saying, that 50% of Africa is digital, but others say no, but 50% is analog. When we talk about climate change, there's a disproportionate impact on Africa as far as climate change is concerned. We talk about political unrest, social unrest, complex legal policy frameworks, regulatory frameworks. We talk about the debt crisis. Some countries in Africa are paying more towards debt than they're paying to health, agriculture, and education combined. Yeah. We talk about low per capita investment in health, $40 per capita on average in the continent compared to $4,000 per capita on average in OECD countries. We talk about youth unemployment. So those are the things that we hear very frequently about Africa. These headlines are true. They're very heavy And sometimes they can leave us with a sense of hopelessness. But then if we look at the trends in the continent, we look at Africa as the youngest continent with a median age of 19, which is, they projected to reduce to 15 by the end of this year. If you look at the high income countries, their median age is 48 years old. Countries like Italy, like Spain, China, Japan, they cannot replace their population. So currently they're relying on immigration to prevent their demographic decline. Africa has 10 of the 20 fastest growing economies in the world. That's a data point we don't hear very frequently. Yeah, Africa is very mineral rich, gold, diamonds, cobalt, etc. In terms of the green transition, Africa has the largest solar potential in the world. We have the largest deposits of green minerals, whose market estimate by 2050 is over $57 trillion. Yeah. The arable land in Africa, we have 60% of the remaining uncultivated land in the world. The arable land in DR Congo can feed Africa. The arable land in Africa can feed the world. So what we do about this arable land will shape the future of food in the world. We have the largest and fastest growing digitally native population. So when you think about all this, what is happening right now? In the past few years, we see countries like Ethiopia launching ambitious plans to train 5 million young people how to code. What will the world look like if Ethiopians are trained on how to code? Already wheat sufficient, they are now exporting other Rwanda, Ghana, Nigeria. They're using mobile platforms to increase their crops. They're using data intelligence, etc., to increase the yield and reduce the. Morocco, renewable energy for cars, etc. We have cassava technologies that has brought compute to the continent, which makes AI ventures much more possible. So, these are early policies, early developments, but they matter. Africa look like in the next 3, 5, 7 years, as we think about digital tools and development in the continent. But I hear many of you, everything is connected. When you talk about our demography, our food security, our quality and quantity of education, economic growth, security, access to clean water, energy, livable cities, all of these are connected to our health and our well-being. So take the example of the aging society. We talked about high-income countries where populations are aging. It means the pharmaceutical sector is investing in anti-aging, longevity therapies and technologies. Where does that leave us? Somebody has to invest in the technologies and the therapies that are pertinent to the African continent. So this presents an opportunity for us. When you think about aging societies, it also means they have limited number of young people to work in healthcare in those sectors. What does that mean for the African continent? How can we become solution providers for that? When you think about aging societies, it means Africa, with the largest population, is also the largest market, which means that inter-Africa trade becomes absolutely key. And building solutions that are not just for Kenya, but they are for Ghana, they are for Angola, they are for Morocco, they are for all the different parts of the continent. The opportunities are endless. So for me, as we consider these opportunities, particularly in developing health solutions, a few things to keep in mind. One, the regulatory consideration. What do this mean for the markets that our health products and our health digital products can be available? And what do we need to do about regulation to make that possible? Number two, we need to build for our communities, the local communities where we come from, the countries where we live, and for the region itself. Think radically about diversity. Africa is a diverse continent. 2,000 languages, 54 or 55 countries, depending on who you're talking to, disability, gender. When you think about women are not homogeneous. Think about indigenous knowledge. What knowledge do we have in Africa that is indigenous to us that we can bring to development? Think about frugal innovation in technologies. think about who is the user of your product, who is the payer, because in many cases in Africa, the user is not always the payer. Think about engaging with the public sector as a scaler, but also the private sector as a funder. Think about the role of AI, thinking about AI as a simplifier, as a multiplier, designed for Africa, built for Africa. And I think in conclusion, I would say two things. One, the future is unwritten. Most people look into the future and think Africa tomorrow will be what Africa today is. The future is unwritten. What you, the youth of Africa, do, the youth of the world do, will determine what Africa becomes. And for me, I have every confidence that you are the game changers, that the solutions you build are the solutions which will make Africa what Africa is. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline, for giving our youth such a powerful message and making them believe that they are the agents of change and they actually have the power to create the future of tomorrow. Thank you so much for that. I now invite Trad and Dr. Ernest for their presentation.
Thank you very much, Pallavi. Very happy and honored to be invited to this really is important initiative. We're very excited to be part of it. I'm here with my colleague Ernest Mbo, and we have a bit of a presentation we'd like to do quite rapidly, just to introduce this community to some of the practical challenges that we have in working in digital health in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and then the particular role of youth, which we see as being an essential role for DRC to evolve. Pallavi, can we put the, I'm sorry, will we share the
Yes.
screen?
Yes,
Thank
right away. Just a moment, please.
So while we're doing that, Ernest, if you wouldn't, could you also put on your video? I'll just say a quick word about myself. So there's some background. I'm Trad Hatton. I'm American Congolese, American by birth from California, but Congolese by marriage. And having lived here in DRC for 25 years, raised our family here. And so I'm sort of have perspectives on American digitalization, Californian digitalization, and a little bit of integration of that into the DRC. But Ernest Mbo, who you'll meet right after myself, is really our true DRC expert who will share that with you. Pallavi, next slide, please. Thank you. So PATH is a global NGO that works on many different areas, but in particular, we have a role in providing innovation and technical assistance in the domain of digital health. And so we'll talk to you a little bit about the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is sort of the limit of our specific knowledge. If you wouldn't mind staying on that slide, Dale, thank you. So our role is to provide technical assistance to the DRC government. So we work closely with the Ministry of Health and the presidency to implement the digitization of the universal healthcare reforms, among other things. And so we've been doing this work now for almost 10 years, specific to digital health. And so we've had the opportunity to accompany the government through series of processes that will help them achieve their digital transformation. And those include the development of strategies, the development of governance structures that are agencies within the Ministry of Health or within the presidency, and then other things that Ernest will talk more about, Dr. Ernest Mbo will talk more about, such as the enterprise architecture, which is the blueprint for the reformed integrated data systems for health. And I'd like to point out two things before I hand it over to Ernest, and this is specific to DRC, perhaps to Africa, but we had two critical elements of catalyzing our work in DRC. Was first identifying experts in the very beginning that were external to DRC, because there were not at that point experts inside DRC. And we brought in external experts from West Africa, from Mali. Someone many may know is Dr. Ousmane Ly. And he was the first to sort of come meet with the DRC government and begin to structure a transformation that was specific to DRC. And that really kicked off a lot of the work, including bringing Ernest Timbo on board into this work. The second is COVID. And I think everybody had this experience. COVID absolutely demonstrated that digital health was an essential component going forward. There was no way to avoid it. It was inevitable. And so that really brought minds together, and we have used that momentum to this day. So let me hand it over to Ernest Timbo. He is very classic or typical of how young experts in DRC entered the system, a medical doctor by training with a great interest in digital health, and used those two skill sets to become one of DRC's first experts in digital health. Over to you, Ernest.
Thank you, Chad. I'm happy to introduce myself as a digital health expert. Thank you, Chad, by maybe pulling me from maybe public health expertise that I has been working for the government to digital health expertise that I'm happy to support the transformation now in DRC, maybe a couple of years. So slide, please, Pallavi. Let me just give you quickly the vision for digital health in DRC and the strategy that we put in place together with the government that we are supporting. As you know, the DRC has clearly articulated his vision for digital health through the National Digital Health Strategy that we're supporting the development. It's the strategy from 2020 to 2024, which path very, very strongly supporting the development. This comprehensive strategy aims to harness the potential of technology to improve healthcare nationwide, with particular emphasis on data management for the universal health coverage, which is the priority for the health sector now, as well as the hospital information management system, public health interventions such as vaccination campaign, LLIN campaign, maybe also diseases control support, HIV, malaria, and TB. Let me show a concrete example of this strategy in action. In North Kivu province, we've implemented digital immunization tracking that has increased vaccination coverage by over 15% in certain health zones by reducing missed opportunities and improving supply chain management. At the heart of this transformation, let us introduce ANICNS. ANICNS is the digital health agency that path supporting the creation as well as the operationalization, maybe a couple of years now. The mission for ANICNS is maybe to support the health, the universal health coverage governance data, as well as all the digital health transformation in DRC. While our vision is ambitious, we must acknowledge the significant challenge in DRC digital landscape. You know, I can maybe give quickly as inadequate infrastructure with limited internet and electricity access in most of the area in the country, constrained funding, and the storage of qualified human resource in digital health. This is the key point. And then one of the big pillar of the digital health strategy, and then the joint area that we're supposing, having this kind of networking with youth will improve, maybe help the young people that need to have opportunity to learn a little more bit about digital health and then to support the development of digital health in the country. Slide, please. Okay, that's good. DRC demonstrates growing interest in building the digital health capacity of its youth. A strategy choice grounded in the country unique demographic and digital landscape. With one of the Africa's youngest population, DRC has a tremendous opportunity to harness youth energy and innovation. Through the overall internet penetration rate stands at almost maybe 18%. Our research indicated that approximately 40% of young people aged maybe aged from 15 to 24 regularly used internet for education, entrepreneurial activities. They actively engage with platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook using digital tools to build visibility and create opportunities. In Lubumbashi, for example, a group of medical students developed a simple SMS-based reminder system for medication adherence that has been adopted by several local clinics with promising initial results in patient compliance, particularly for chronic conditions. Several key initiatives are also strengthening beyond digital skills. I can cite this one, the Generation Unlimited partnership with UNICEF and the Kinshasa Digital Academy aims to train maybe at most 10 million young Congolese by 2030 in digital skills and professional training. The impressive 100% professional integration rate for career graduate demonstrate the effectiveness of these targeted capacity building programs. The Ministry of Health has organized a hackathon connecting digital technology to epidemic response. We have a lot of young people on that, and then very, very good news because we identifying a group of young people, they developing tools that call it locally application developed by young innovator during one such event facilitated real-time data exchange for Ebola response, the Ebola history in DRC. And then it was one of the innovation from the young people and then help the health facilities to health sector to manage this response. So young Congolese consistently express their desire to agents of exchange. They expect to be recognized for their value in implementing public policy and creating digital solutions that contribute to national development. And then we hope that digital technology is perceiving not simply as a tool, but as a school and land of knowledge and employment for young people in DRC. I think, slide please. Just give you an overview of the young mobilization and existing partnership in DRC. As illustrated in the structure that you see here, DRC is witnessing growing mobilization in digital health, supported by strategic partnership. Let me highlight some completing example quickly. The locale, what I mentioned earlier, to manage Ebola. Similarly, mobile applications are increasingly recognized as effective tools for health information dissemination and awareness campaign, particularly for vaccination. During recent measles outbreak in Kinshasa, Youth Lead WhatsApp group effectively coordinated community vaccination, awareness, research, reaching community that traditional campaign missed, It was incredible and then good result. Another one is the organization like AfriYan, DRC, have been working since maybe 2017 to improve youth health outcomes, covering sexual and reproductive health, education, and entrepreneurship, while actively promoting adolescents and youth leadership, and so on. You can see other initiatives. Partnership like Flowminder and Vodacom, which is one of the telecom in DRC, are leveraging mobile data to optimize childhood vaccination planning, using animals' mobility data to identify population movement patterns and improve vaccination campaign effectiveness. While these initiatives show promise, they remain somewhat fragmented. Let me highlight this. We hope that youth can serve as critical catalysts and unifier, fostering not only data interoperability, but also initiative interoperability, creating a more cohesive and impactful digital health ecosystem driven by youth innovation. So let me leave Trad to bring us maybe key initiative and then youth collaboration area that we identify in DRC. Over to you, Trad, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Ernest. So this will be our last slide. Pallavi, can you? Great. So Path DRC, we lead several flagship initiatives and where we see opportunity for collaboration. Our system strengthening work on universal healthcare includes establishing policy frameworks and governance protections. For malaria burden reduction, we use data quality initiatives for targeted interventions. On the vaccine side, there's a significant amount of work to digitize vaccination programs and others. So to conclude, we see incredible opportunities to engage with the youth in the DRC. We think it's applicable for many countries. In fact, we think it's not only desirable, it is inevitable. Just by the way the demographics of Africa are working, and in DRC, the youth must be engaged on the digital transformation, and they will be. The question is, how fast can we catalyze it? And we appreciate very much YO.DH's work doing exactly that. So thank you so much. Over to you, Pallavi.
Trad and Dr. Ernest, thank you so much for giving us such a detailed understanding of the landscape in DRC and already paving out ways in which Path DRC can actually collaborate with us and help us act as a catalyst for so many initiatives that you mentioned about and so many other efforts, not just in DRC but in Central Africa at large. We are indeed really looking forward to learning a lot from you guys and actually paving out the ways of how we can cull out many of these opportunities and have them as offerings for our members in the Africa chapter. Thank you so much. I would now like to invite Erica. Great. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks so much, Pallavi. I apologize, my camera isn't working. I also am very cognizant of the time, so I'm going to go very, very quickly. There's just a couple of things I'd like to say. First of all, there's a few resources as you're thinking about digital health in Africa and what role all the various stakeholders might play. Health Enabled leads a multi-stakeholder initiative called the Global Digital Health Monitor. The website is here. Many are familiar with this, but this is an opportunity for countries to assess their digital health maturity, to benchmark their progress, and then to track advancements over time. And this is really helpful for innovators who are looking to see where a country is in their digital health maturity, for countries to target investments in key areas, as well as for other partners and funders to support that journey. So every year, we take the data from the Global Digital Health Monitor and publish the State of Digital Health Report. So check it out. I did a quick analysis of findings from Africa from 2023. And so there's just to give you a snapshot of where the field is right now. We know that most countries have a national digital health strategy. We know that workforce is the area that is lagging furthest behind, not only in Africa, but in the rest of the world, where formal training programs for digital health are not yet embedded in curricula to support a national progression for digital health professionals. While AI is advancing rapidly, almost all countries do not yet have the regulation in place. Private sector participation, there's a lot of opportunity for the private sector to come in and contribute. And we also know that there's significant investment that's expected over the next 5 years, as Carolyn mentioned. At the same time, there's a significant digital divide, especially for rural populations. So this just kind of sets the state of where we are within digital health in Africa. Please feel free to go visit the monitor so that you can dig into each specific country or other regional trends. The other thing I want to highlight is the state of gender in digital health. So we are finishing up a project with our partners at the University of Gondar in Ethiopia, where we've done an assessment of gender representation across the cascade of care for immunization, for digital health immunization programs. And what you can see here is should be shocking to us, but also very representative of many countries in the world, where at the top of the graph, you see that females are predominantly caregivers and community health workers. They are at the front lines of health service delivery. But as you move down to the supervisor level, to policymakers, to digital health developers, those numbers go down and down to the point where women only make up 25% of the policymakers in Ethiopia for health and 1% of digital health developers. So I just want to highlight this, because what this means is that the people who are making the decisions about health services and the people who are building the tools that are used by health workers are not representative of the people who are giving services and who are receiving them. And I think this is a big challenge that we have an opportunity to address, especially with young people, especially with young women, to step into some of these roles that is really going to transform how the field is able to progress and how it develops in the coming years. So where are we going? I won't spend much time here, but personally, I'm really optimistic, especially from Carolyn's talk. There's so much happening right now. Into the future, digital health is driving shifts into health systems so that access is universal, that health workers can use digital tools to extend their reach, so that AI and real-time data can support proactive and efficient personalized care no matter where people are as they move from point to point. So there's so much happening and coming. And the question is, how do we get there? So based on where we are, based on the state of digital health, we have a need to strengthen that enabling environment and innovation, especially around private sector investment. And this needs to be led by national governments and local institutions. There's a big need to build health workforce capacity, especially for young people, to help them develop careers in digital health and equipping young people with digital health skills. And then finally, especially embedding young people and women, and especially young women, in the design, leadership, and policy for digital health. So there are a lot of innovators, and that's excellent. We also need young people and women to have a seat at the table to design the policies that are going to shape ethical advancements and regulatory environments for digital health, and especially to be building that technology that will be used. So I'm going to stop there. I'll just say that we're so excited to be partnering with YO.DH on this next endeavor, and I see so much potential for this community to help young people develop these skills to really advance and realize that potential of digital health. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Erica, for shedding light on especially the gender aspect of in digital health, and also emphasizing that how tokenism is not something which should be driven, but actually having the youth and women at the seat of decision making is something which is very important. And we are very, very proud and happy to have Health Enabled as one of our first supporters as we expand to YO.DH Africa, and indeed looks like a very promising partnership. I know we are 13 minutes over time already. I'm just going to take another 2 minutes to quickly wrap this up. If you could please bear with me, that will be very, very helpful. Yeah, just a moment. I'm going to share my screen with just last couple of things that I wanted to speak to you guys about. Yes. So as we're expanding to Africa, at the same time also looking at the larger youth community, devising ways of having more global collaborations and global initiatives from our side. We would love if you guys could think of ideas, or if you think your organizations might be interesting and willing to look at collaboration opportunities with youth in India, in Africa, or any other geography. Please feel free to reach out to us or if you think there might be anybody in your network who you could connect us to, we would really appreciate that. Over the course of time, we've had collaborations on several fronts. So we're looking to have institutional partners who may be willing to support, any kind of capacity building initiative or support to youth. Help us build our knowledge products, conduct events across the world, both virtually and in person. At the same time, also help us and, come and shape the strategy and vision for youth as we expand to, more geographies and, have a more hyperlocal presence. So you guys can stay connected with us. Here is a QR code, and we have an app on Android and iOS as well. We have a fantastic website and app as well through which you can connect with all the 1,000 members who are a part of our community. You can access our global directory. You can reach out to us, chat with them through our app itself. We also have a resource directory where we keep putting interesting products which we as a community are creating. At the same time, you can access all our other initiatives and offerings that we've put together. Lastly, we also have a discussion forum through our tool. So it'll be great in case you guys want to engage in any conversations to use our in-house tools. And as we're expanding, we are hoping that these tools will come in handy, and it'll help us. It'll help all of us stay more and more connected. So once again, thank you so much for being a part of today and encouraging us to grow the way we are. And we look forward to engaging with you more in the future. Please to stay connected and feel free to reach out to either Sarah, me, or any of your fellow youth members. And we're always happy to chat with just an email or a WhatsApp away. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.